Welcome to Midnight Mule FPL. I'm Midnight Mule and this is the video for double game week 33 where I show you my plans and what I'm thinking for my team. But before we do that, let's see who did well in game week 32. Top scorer in the Midnight Mule FPL Mini-league in game week 32 was Mohammed Ashraf 009, 66 Street I assume that is, with a massive 142 points. That was with their bench boost. And they were ranked 105th in the world for that game week, which is incredible. That's very, very good. Now that was managed with Captain Barnes for 54, Murphy 19, 8 Nori 14, Isaac 11, Virgil 9, Marmouche 7, Strand Larson 6, Eze 6, and that's all. And then on the bench, look at that, even bench Salah. But it was a bench boost, so it's okay. So that's 11 points, I believe, on the bench, so very nice. Current leader is Amit Ersin with Fivish BK with 86 points. And that was managed with Barnes 27, Captain Isaac 22, Livramento 8, Marmouche 7, Sar 7, Salah 6. And then on the bench, Johnson for 5, Edison for 4, Kirkes for 6. So I didn't get the bench quite right, but I'm sure lots of people would have done the same bench as that. As for me, I'm all the way down in 397th with 87 points. That was managed with Captain Isaac 22, Murphy 19, Pedro Porro 13, Livramento 8, Salah and Eze got 6, Marmouche 7 and Palmer 4. And then on my bench, just Kirkes for 6. So 87 points. I did take a -3, which in my mind wasn't worth it. Because although on the surface it looks like I was 5 points better off, because even after the hit, the players I got in got 5 points more. Had I not got Livramento, I would have played Kirkes, who got 6 points, and that would have saved me 4. And had I done that, I wouldn't have got Henderson. I would have got Pope, who got a lot more points. So I made the wrong transfer choice. So it wasn't particularly great, but never mind. That's just where we're at. And another silly thing, you'll see I took Areola out. I didn't need the money. I meant to take Fabianski out. I just pressed the wrong key, confirmed, without even checking. So, silly me. So there I am, second green arrow in a row, ranked 1.7 million, and I'm going to allude to that later, so remember how good my rank is, 1.7. So 51 behind 1 million rank, but that's okay, we've got another 5 weeks to go yet. We've got 6 weeks to go yet. Now, in the cup, we've been following Ron Koo with Delulu because they knocked me out. And this last game week, they played Kevin Thomas with the Gaffer. Delulu managed 74 points and the Gaffer managed 88. So the Gaffer won that competition. So here's the Gaffer's squad. That's Treble Captain Isaac with 33. Murphy 19. Marmouche 7. Sar 7. Burn 7. Martinez 6. Salah 6. And then on the bench, nothing much to speak of. Nothing that would have made the team any better. And so next round, in the round of 64, they'll be playing Michael Rishman with Kiss My Studs. Thank you very much to everyone who watches this and leaves likes and comments, etc. It is appreciated. So the FPL Game Week website's got lots of very interesting stats on there, but one of the things they also do is the Content Creators League. And there are various people I like to listen to and follow online, and I like to see how they're doing. And of those, Ben is second with Praz third and Harry fourth. I'd be all the way down in 75th, which is a massive 72 points behind Heisenberg. Now remember, my rank was 1.7 million. Possibly the most popular content creator is Andy. He's certainly got a huge following. And there he is. And his rank's 100,000 and his score's 2,146. But his score is actually closer to my score with a rank of 1.7 million than the person in top spot. So he's 100,000 places from top spot, but he's closer to me, which is 1.6 million people away. So when you hear people talking about their rank, it's not a big deal. You want to be winning your mini leagues, you want to be beating the people you know, but the rank's really not that important. You just want to have a good time. At least in my world you do. So game week options. Option number 1 is for me to simply roll, and that's because I don't actually have any issues. So I'll show you my team live on the actual site because it's just a whole lot easier this game week rather than gradually build it up. So Henderson in goal, not the best choice, but he has got a double game week. Guardiola and Munoz, they'll be popular. Kirkes away to Palace could get an attacking return, but he's not a problem. He should be playing. Then in the midfield, Palmer away to Fulham, and Palmer is still getting very good XGI. He is still getting chances. He could get something. Salah is popular. Eze's got a double game week. Bowen home to Southampton, very good chance of scoring something. And Murphy's been scoring for fun recently, so he's all right. Then up front, I've got Marmoush and Isak. Marmoush double game weaker, and Isak, he's been scoring quite a lot this season, so he's all right. And then my bench, okay, I've got the wrong keeper, but João Pedro's all right, as is Livramento and Robinson. They'll at least play. So I don't actually have any problems, except I have no Arsenal players, and I would quite like to have De Bruyne, so I am missing out on fun. So that's the only real downside of this. But I have seriously been considering rolling, or can I do one transfer? And I could. I could swap Palmer, for example, for either De Bruyne or Saka, and that would obviously be for free, and that would be okay. But I've looked at other options too. My second option involves playing chips, and this has been my plan for several weeks. That's to play the wild card in double game week 33, which is where we are now, because after the blank next game week, the teams that are doubling now, which is the teams you'd naturally load up on, they're okay going forward after 35. So that's a perfectly viable option with a free hit in blank game week 34. That's completely doable. Now we know there's a chance we're going to have a double and a blank in 36, 37, but it's theoretically possible they'll be played later in 37, so there won't be any more double or blanks, or maybe a tiny double blank. We just don't know yet. So I could do this and I'd be all right, and I'd be in pretty much the same boat as all other managers then, with no chips left. Option number 3 would be to play the free hit this game week and then wildcard next game week. So if anyone got injured this week, it doesn't matter. Obviously it matters to them. It doesn't matter to me in FPL, because I'd simply be wildcarding next game week anyway. Downside of that is I could only really get a maximum of 4 players from Arsenal and Man City combined, and one of those would need to be obviously Raya in goal. But I've looked at that, and it's all right. But the downside of both of these is my current team is nearly all right, and it's even nearly all right for blank game week 34. So last night I came up with another strategy, which is where I'm at the moment, and I'll walk you through that in a minute. And that is to free hit in game week 33, but then play my wild card in 35, maybe 36, maybe 37, see how I feel. And the advantage of that is because I'm playing it after 34, we will know who's in the final, and we will find out who's got the doubles and the blanks, if anyone does indeed. So that's another option. So now I'll show you what team I think I might be picking for that. And it's still quite fluid, so I'll no doubt change my mind a little bit on this. So we're back on the live site now. I've taken all my players out. And this is how I'm going to build up my free hit team potentially. I've got 104.1 million, but of course I have to have a bench. So I'll stick a bench on of cheap players that I think are going to play. So Areola, and of course I could downgrade some of these if I'm short of money. So that's Vardy. And let's put in a couple of Man United defenders that are cheap. So I've actually got 86.1 million to play with. Now the reason for free hitting or playing a chip is because I have neither Saka nor De Bruyne, and I'd like both of those. So we should need to stick them in. So here's Saka. And then here's De Bruyne. Now, of course, I want 3 Man City players. So the other ones I go for would be Gvardiol and our mate Marmoush. So there he goes. 52.7 million left. I would obviously have 2 more Arsenal players, which I think is likely to be Raya. And I've got 3 midfield spots left. If I went for another midfielder, I would probably go Rice, because I really like Rice. He's on some free kicks. He's doing well recently. Takes corners. So I am tempted by him, but I am a bit short of spaces. But I can afford Saliba. So I can stick Saliba in. And then that's the 3 Arsenal and 3 Man City. Now, it's not just doublers I want. The player I'm most excited about this week is Bowen. He's already in my real squad, and I'd like to get him on the free hit as well. At home to Southampton, I think he's got a reasonably good chance of getting at least 1 attacking returns, but he could get 2 or 3. And another single game week player who's popular is Salah, away to Leicester. He might do well. And then that leaves me with 3 spots. Now, I could go for, obviously, Aston Villa players, but possibly the Palace players are going to be more highly owned and they're going to hurt me more if they do well. So that would be Mateta up front, and then I can forward Eze in the middle, and then Munoz at the back. There we go. So all that leaves me 0.2 million in the bank, gives me 9 double game week players plus Salah and Bowen, who I think are quite nice. The trouble with this, or one of the troubles with this, is I'm not that excited about the Palace fixtures. So away to Arsenal, I'd expect nothing, appearance points probably, and that's it. So they're home to Bournemouth. So what do I think is a better matchup? Is it Crystal Palace at home to Bournemouth, and Palace played twice last game week and were awful? Or is it Liverpool away to Leicester? So, for example, I could get rid of Eze and put in Luis Diaz, who's been very good recently. Well, very good. He just keeps ticking over getting points. And then I'm a little bit short, so I could downgrade Vardy, or I could simply get rid of Mateta and, for example, get Visser at home to Brighton. So this would actually be 4 single game week players, but every time there's a double game week, some of the highest scorers are single game week players. And any of these, Luis Diaz, Salah, Visser, Bowen, they could all get decent points and they could all be outscoring any of the Crystal Palace players. So I could do something like that, and that leaves me 0.8. So I'm obviously not going to settle on this until tomorrow, probably a few minutes before the deadline, and then the site will crash. But that's where my mind is at the moment. Probably free hit this game week, and then next game week I'll make a transfer, I'll possibly take a hit and use my current squad to get through the blank, and then I'll wildcard 35, 36 or 37. So that was option number 4. Free hitting in game week 33 and then wildcarding game week 35 or later. And as for the background picture, today's April the 18th, which is David Tennant's birthday. He's actually a little bit younger than me. And he was famous as being the Doctor from Doctor Who liked to wear the old mule hat when he chose his captain in FPL. So there we have it, my potential plans for game week 34. I've not pressed the button yet, I've not made any transfers yet, so I could yet change my mind, but I'll try and remember to post on X what my final team selection is. Thank you very much to everyone who watches these videos. Hope you have fun this game week. Thanks, bye.